blessings, new beginnings, and situations that are really going to blow your mind, be beyond the imagination. That is what this eclipse energy has in store for you. Welcome, you guys. Hello, how are you? Welcome back. If this is your first time hanging out with me, welcome. I'm so excited you're here. And if you always watch these energy updates, you know the drill. We're going to talk about the main energies that you can work with right now. Today, the 29th of April through May 13th, this is your energy forecast. So hang out with me and let's talk about the energies. And then at the end, as always, we'll have tips and takeaways and journal questions that are, you guys always tell me, are your favorite. So let's dive into these beautiful, really supercharged and positive energies for right now. So we have this really special and magical eclipse energy, and you've probably already been feeling it. And it's giving you the tickles or the inkling of the energy that is to come. So likely you're seeing in your life those places and spaces that have been wanting to shift and change, and you've been knowing for a while that you actually would like some movement there. And you're finally starting to see the tickles. So this energy isn't fully opened up yet. And in fact, yesterday I was at this beautiful lake, and the lake has been iced over all winter. So you might very well feel like you're that iced over lake, and you're starting to crack open and the energy's starting to come through, but it's not yet thawed out. And so that's the energy right now. It's not yet thawed out. It's not fully flowing through, but you're starting to see some movement. For many of you, this is in the areas of finance. For some of you, this is in the area of home and family. And for others of you, this is in your relationship to the world. So this is an exciting time of a lot of shifts and changes, ultimately designed to help you move into a higher timeline, a higher resonance field of your destiny. So I'm seeing this as really a positive, energetic. There's got a lot of planetary alignments, which we won't go into here, but it's all designed to supercharge you with positivity, with love, with extra energy of blessings. So feel into that right now. And if you're not feeling all of that, okay, you can align to the energy of blessings at any time. You can align to the energy of extra love and extra support, because it really is here to help you right now. So let's dive into these energies again today through the 13th of May. First, we'll talk about this eclipse, because eclipses are all about creating change. A change of circumstance, a change of things that you couldn't even really imagine, or maybe are out of time or are beyond the mind. And you'll be getting little things right now that start to show you what is possible. What have you been really dreaming into this last 6 months in particular? And what have you been really feeling, gosh, I'd love it if this were to happen? These are the things that are bound to come through for you right now. They're bound to come through. They're supposed to be coming through. So just know that this is the energy that's here for you. Now, I do want to say, you might have heard other people talk about eclipses as not a time to manifest, and I couldn't disagree more. I actually think that eclipses are a beautiful time to really be setting your energy and harnessing the energy of the eclipse. And I sort of think of an eclipse like an open parentheses and then a closed parentheses. So literally right now, it's opening up this bracket of energy to stream through all of this new, very positive, very beneficial events, happenings, people making offers, really generous offers. There's a lot of generosity coming through with this eclipse cycle. It's in Pisces, so Pisces is like the most exalted, lofty, benefic. I sort of think of it as a very benefic planet of generousness and people giving you gifts of money and cash, and it's a great time to ask for that if you need it. So this is a really supercharged time, and it's an open parentheses. And so right now, you might be seeing things in your life that are sort of tickling the keys, if you will, of what's to come. And you also might be feeling some sort of crunchy, I call it crunchy energy that isn't quite there yet. And I call it crunchy because of the ice. So I'm up here in Canada, and I was at this lake, and it's frozen solid except for this little part that's opening up, and there's all these crunches of the ice. In fact, if you go to my stories, you can check that out. It's the ice crunching open. So there's still some crunchy energy as the energy opens up for you, but start to visualize even more today, tomorrow. Utilize this energy for the next week or so to really tell the universe what it is that you want and ask for those opportunities to come through. I also suggest that if there's something that you've been wanting, ask, reach out, text a friend, text a client, text a colleague, pick up the phone and dial the phone. This is a wonderful time to ask for support and actually get it. The universe wants you to have what is aligned for your soul. So I want you to think back right now of what you have been doing since November 19th in particular, because the energy that is right now, you're shifting very much out of a cycle from November 19th of this year, 2022, and you are looking back towards that time to say, okay, what have I just been through? What have I just grown through and learned through? Odds are it's been an epic journey of self-love, of understanding where you might need more fortification for an aspect of your life. You might be seeing themes of that you have kind of dug yourself into a bit of a hole in an area, and now you can sort of get out of that hole. You can get out of the bottom of the hole. So these are the themes of right now, but I find it's really helpful to sort of place this in time and look back at what you've been through November 19th of last year, 2021, because this eclipse is going to give you the up-levelment of that, okay? It's going to give you sort of you were in the hole, let's pop you out of that, whatever that is. So I felt like I just couldn't be more excited to be bringing this energy to you and to be talking about it today, because gosh, I think we could all use a bit of a boost. So let's talk about some other things. I have some notes here. Again, what's unfolding now is showing you the magic that is possible, and you are being elevated. You really, truly are being elevated and uplifted into something more. And if you are in a situation of any kind, be it a financial situation, a relationship situation, whatever that might be, there's an aspect here that's important to take a look at how you've gotten yourself into this situation. So really allowing yourself to take responsibility for the ways in which you've maybe settled for this, or dug yourself into the hole, or signed paperwork that got you into this place, or didn't look at something as deeply as you could have, and just take responsibility for it now, and then say, okay, universe, I've learned the lessons from November 19th until now. I don't need to repeat those lessons anymore. And even so much as you might revoke your consent to learning lessons at lower timelines. I love to teach this to clients, to literally say, I revoke my consent to learning lessons at a lower frequency timeline. So this is something that you too can do, and you can allow yourself to learn lessons at a different timeline. And if you're still on that lower frequency bandwidth where you're learning lessons in a very crunchy, gnarly energy, you can use this eclipse energy to pull yourself upward and outward. I also want you to think about what are your intentions that you're planting for the next 3 years. This particular eclipse energy has the markings of what you're sowing right now. The seeds you're sowing are going to be growing for literally the next 3 years. So if you're just getting started with a project, or if you're thinking about a project that you just want to get started with, or you're writing that brand new website, or you're creating that new offering, or you're thinking about going for that new job, this is such a positively charged time for you to do it. Or if you're thinking about moving to a different place, here's the thing though, with this energy, it is requiring you to make a jump. So whatever of these jumps that it is, the energy is set for a requirement for you to make a jump of some sort. For some of you, that's literally a jump across an ocean. For some of you, that's a jump out of a job that you've been very used to into something new that you're not certain or sure of how it's going to work out yet. But that's okay, because the universe is here right now supporting your energy to make this jump, to make this leap. And it's like almost, I see this as a person making a leap and they think they're doing it on their own, but it's like this rainbow carrying them on this beautiful journey. And the rainbow is solid and supportive and just takes you where you need to go. And that's literally how the energy is showing up in the field. So it's beautiful to take the jump if you're feeling so called to. Now, we have another eclipse coming up on the 16th of May. And so that eclipse is got a little even more crunchier energy, but it's to kind of close up any gaps that are keeping you from making a jump or holding you back. So don't worry if it's not all fully baked right now. Don't worry, you're just getting the tickles, the tickling of the keys. You haven't gotten warmed up yet. And so literally for some of you, I'm seeing you want a new house, but you have no idea how it's going to come in. The work here is to remain in your vision. Don't let yourself get pulled into the mind of the how in the world is this going to come in. Go back into your heart, rest in your imagination and your knowing that what you want wants you, and that all you really need to do is just keep in the energy of this is happening, my highest good is happening, my highest good is coming to me now, what I want wants me, and see yourself in the place where you want, whether it's a work situation, whether it's a financial situation, whether it's a living situation. Just keep in the faith and the sight of seeing yourself, feeling yourself as there. Because what I really get about this eclipse energy is it's going to be something that your mind just can so not imagine. For some of you, it's a living situation that you think, I so can't afford to live there. I so don't have $10,000 a month in rent, or a house payment, but you'll have it somehow. Somehow you'll have the money. Or maybe you won't even need to have the money because it'll come through in a completely magical way. So that's the energy of this eclipse. It's super magical, super positive. Now, let's talk about some other energies that are coming forward for you for the next few weeks. I wanted to talk about the crunchy energy for just a little bit. if you're feeling the crunchy energy at all, what I think is the most important of this is to ask yourself, what do you actually need to do to shift your experience? So if you're in any place where you don't want to be, whether it's you're having relationships with friends or family that isn't exactly how you'd like it, whether it's finances, it doesn't really matter how this crunchy energy is showing up. You just want to ask yourself, what do I need to shift internally in order for me to have a different experience in this? You might have to look over documents more carefully. You might have to be the person to create new documents. You might have to review your website and really change it up because it's, not converting the way you might like it. There's so many different ways this energy is expressing, but really it's a great time to take a look at your life and go, wow, what can I do differently? Especially if this is in relationships. I find, I just hear this from people. They're not having the outcomes they want with a friendship or friends, and they're wanting the other person to change. And you can so have a different outcome so much more quickly if you help yourself to move through the energy within yourself. Usually there's a response within us, or there's something that's happening with us that's creating an experience that we don't want. And sometimes that's just as simple as hanging around people that don't currently fit with your now energy, with your now values, and with your now self. Because also, you have changed so much in the last 2 years. I want you to think back to January of 2020. And now, think back again to January of 2015. Okay? We're going to play with these 2 dates for a second. In January 2015, what kind of friendships were you allowing into your life? What kind of dating relationships or people or relationships were you entertaining? What kind of foods were you eating? What kind of businesses were you running? And now I want you to think forward to January 2020 and think about, okay, who were you now allowing into your life? And notice how the people that you are resonating with in 2015 really did start to shift pretty drastically in 2020. And now bounce yourself forward again to right now, in this now moment. Odds are a lot of the folks that you might have been hanging out with before either made tremendous upward trajectory shifts with you, right? They came right along with you. They're doing the work, they're doing the inner work, they're doing the outer work, they're in resonance with you. Or you might be in the feeling sense of, this relationship really isn't working for me anymore. And so some of the work right now is to allow yourself the organic spaciousness to let those relationships just do what they need to do, and those folks will either vibrate up with you or they will vibrate out. And literally before this podcast today, I saw an image of, I want to give you this image the best I can, but the energy is showing up as earths kind of glumped together. So an earth here and an earth here on the right side and on the left side sort of attached. And one earth kind of a darker color earth, and one earth sort of a lighter, more lovely earth. And on this side of the earth, it was sort of a darker energy, darker folks, darker kind of, and when I say darker, I just mean that's how I can see the colors. It's darker or lighter. And then over here, same shaped people, but a lighter energy. So what I saw in these examples, I saw multiple of these earths telling me there's multiple different timelines, and that whether you are in the side of Earth that is more focused on news and media and some of the more crunchy energy, or you're on the side that is more based in unity consciousness and creating new earth. You're coexisting together, but there is a choice point that's happening now, and that's also part of the energy of this next few weeks. We've gotten a lot of energies to raise your vibration and raise your frequency even, and you're probably feeling this in your very physical body. And I want to talk more about ascension stuff in a minute, but ultimately, wherever you are at, there's not a right or wrong with this, but it is a choice in how you focus. Or I'm also seeing a picture of a lens that you decide to take off or put on. And taking off the lens is literally the act of taking off the lens of needing to learn lessons in the old 3D way, needing to focus on some of the things that we might have focused on in the past, and news and media. Not to say that you won't see and be able to see what's going on, but you will view it from a much different perspective. You'll view it from a perspective of more sending love and sending a harmonic that allows this group of folks to entrain to your frequency. So I hope that makes sense in the visuals. Sometimes I get visuals that may not exactly translate, but ultimately right now you're being supercharged with an energy that's to help you pull up into a lighter, brighter energetic that helps you hold a space and a vision for higher timelines, higher frequencies to come through. And I want you to remember that wherever you go at any time, whether it's the gym or the grocery store, or maybe it's Walmart or Costco, or driving down the road, you can anchor in this higher frequency that's actually part of your role here as a light worker, as a light leader, to radiate this beautiful, loving frequency of light that's you and coming in and through your physical body. And you can do that wherever you are. And the more you do that, the more you help your fellow human beings entrain to that frequency, and you supercharge it in the energy field. To give you a cell phone example, because I used to work for a cell phone company, it's like adding more cell towers to an area. You penetrate more frequency in that area and everybody gets better coverage on their cell phones. So you're like the cell tower. You're radiating this frequency, helping give people better coverage with this beautiful new energy that you can feel. It's palpable. It's coming as and through you. So it's really great to be grounded in your breathing, be practicing nose breathing, making sure that you're breathing really deeply throughout the day in a grounded way, doing vibrational food processes and practices. As you raise your frequency, you will want more light-filled foods. You'll want more veggies and things that actually are good at photosynthesis, because it helps you, your physical body, be good at photosynthesis. You'll want more light outside. You'll feel really energized and good by it. It'll be really good for your skin. So all of these things start to happen as you raise your frequency, but remember that you are radiating frequency out. It's an energy exchange, and you are a part of this process. Let's see, what else with this energy that's happening right now? I'm really seeing this as people in both my private coaching practices and my students being called into a new life. So I would be curious to see how many of you guys are feeling this yourself. Pop it in the comments. Are you feeling called into this new life, this new way of being, this new energy of you. That's really what I'm seeing sort of across the board. And as a part of this process, one thing that can happen is we want the new all right now, but right now through the 13th of May, you're going to start to see all of the things that you've been wanting, all of that stuff that's kind of been stalled out, I think, by the planets. It's just been kind of stuck energy for a while. You're going to see that start to open up, blossom, but there is an aspect of you doing something, making jumps, texting a friend, reaching out for support that is involved in this process and really getting it going. So I want you to ask yourself these questions with regards to your new life. Who are you now, really? Who are you now, really? Who do you really want to be in this world? What has your soul been calling you to be and embody? And less of what you're being called to do. I think doing is, while I do stuff every day, it's more about a beingness. Who are you here to be? What energy are you here to radiate and transmit? I always ask my clients this question, and it's so interesting because every one of them has different energies. And so ask yourself, what energy am I here to transmit? And another thing to do to work with this energy is to look at something that you might have been putting off for a while and to actually deal with that. So if, for example, you have a business and you know that it needs restructuring, now is a beautiful time to revisit that, to start to restructure it, to get it in alignment, to get yourself more supported and get yourself maybe some more resources so that you can have it be very different. I'm literally seeing an example of a woman who's been kind of doing this more, seeing clients and clients and clients and clients and clients all day, and she's really burnt out at the end of the day. And then now she's wondering, gosh, I feel like I don't want to be doing this. And as I'm seeing this example, I'm being shown now a timeline where she's been doing this world this way for the last 10 plus years, in many cases. And so she's always, though, known that she's more here to be a speaker, a leader, a teacher. So I'm not sure what multitude of you that is for, because I can see that there's like a group of people. So if you've been in that place where you've been feeling stuck and you've been feeling like what you're doing is kind of what you thought you had to do at the time to make it by, right now is a so gorgeous energy supporting you to reformat it, make it different, allow things to be different, and see it in a new way. And I can see you guys are popping me comments, for those of you who are live streaming with me here on the gram and on YouTube, that you're ready for a new life. So that is so gorgeous. So just know that now's the time. Seeds are planting. The universe is going to bring this through for you, by the way, in a way that is super in alignment for your new now energy. So trust that, and trust anything that's not aligned with your new now energy. You'll see it, you'll spot it, and you'll say, not for me, even if an opportunity presents itself. Because sometimes in these strong energy charged portals, the opportunities can be so much. So it is a great time to look at, is this an opportunity that is in alignment with my new now self? And be discerning, because you really do have much different requirements now in 2022 than you did back in even 2020. And as we talked about earlier, back in 2015, you've done such a beautiful job of learning self-love and what works for your energetic system and what your personal needs are, that you'll be able to say no with love to those things that are not in alignment. Okay, let me check my notes here because I had so much today. As you guys know, I always have notes because I never want to leave anything out. Let's talk about some of the karmic endings of this time because it is a time of karmic endings. I'm mostly seeing this though, when I tuned in before this, as karmic endings between you and you. Between you and the way that you've always done things in the past and how you simply won't do them in the future. For example, if you've always been somebody who maybe would turn to waffles when you were stressed and wanted to stress eat waffles, you just know that doesn't work for you anymore. In fact, you don't even want to stress eat. You're just content to go outside and breathe and walk and be in nature. And so you're having this almost a cognitive dissonance with these old things. So it's like a karmic tie breaking of the old you versus the new you. And now as I say that, they're bringing me back to the vision of the two earths conjoined. And I totally get it now, is that you have been experiencing life in a very difficult, hard way with a lot of hard lessons, and you're now ready. If you're hearing this right now, my senses, and I have such a wonderful feeling that you're now ready to be in the other side of the energy and experiencing it in a different way, but not from a polarity way, not from, okay, I did the hard side, now I'm gonna only do the positive side, but from a way that they're showing me you're literally pulled up so that you can see both sides and be infusing it all with energy and loving it all, but really doing it differently than you ever have before. So that's just beautiful. I hope that message resonated with you. One thing to note about the energy of the next couple of weeks is that if you are wanting a shift, if you are wanting a change, that this particular energy is sort of the final hour energy. So if you have made some plans to do something, give yourself some extra space to have those plans changed. Don't have it necessarily set in stone. Allow yourself the flexibility to understand that those plans might be drastically different. For example, I'm seeing a woman who's in Sedona right now, and she thinks she's going to Texas, but in fact, she's not going to Texas. She's going to go someplace really different, although she already has her travel plans made to Texas. So not sure who that's for, but just know that that's sort of the energy of this time, that you might, it could even show up as a job. You might have a job and you think, oh, this is the job that I'm doing, and it might just change at the last minute, sort of suddenly. These are these beautiful, benefic twists of destiny to align you with something much higher and, quite frankly, much more suited for your energy system, your beautiful, gorgeous, miraculous new now energy system. So I love that so much. Let's see what else. Some questions to ask yourself. Let's get to the tips and takeaways section. Asking yourself these things: where do you need more fortification? What does that look like for you exactly? Do you need more fortification in your savings account, in your love life? Where do you need to be personally fortified? Are your adrenals okay? Right? Just ask yourself the question, where do I need fortification, and how can that start to come in for you? Ask yourself, what were the significant areas of change that you noticed over the last 6 or so months since November 19th that you can sort of jot down in a journal and know that those are the areas that are up leveling drastically for you, and you can start to earmark those and be on special lookout for the positive blessings. What do you now value that you actually didn't value even 6 months ago? I'm guessing that's really changed for you, and that's going to help you as you go forward and start to plant even more seeds for this next 3-year journey. You want to really think about, well, what do I value that's different before? Many of you are valuing stability in ways that you didn't value before. Many of you are valuing consistency and flow. And yet, many of you are valuing things like peace and ease and nature time in ways that you haven't yet valued in the way that you do now, and prefer it over maybe TV watching time or time on the couch. And what new energies do you need to stabilize in your life? So as we bring in higher frequency energies, sometimes there's a lot of dissonance between the high frequencies and the low frequencies. And one minute you could be feeling really blissy and amazing, and the next minute you might be feeling really stressed out and not even know what's going on. So ask yourself, what energies do you need to stabilize, and how can the universe support you in stabilizing those energies? Ask your higher self. I always love to do this. Just ask your higher self, ask your soul to show you the energy of running a higher frequency energy even when you're stressed. So catch yourself when you're stressed and just say, higher self, soul, divine spirit, show me how to run high frequencies of love and joy and blessings through my system, even right now as I'm feeling this stress, or even right now as I'm feeling this worry. And the universe, your higher self, will show you and flow those energies to you. And if ever there's a time when you're really feeling extra stressed or extra worried, you can always do this one. By the way, this is in the Miracles portal. And for those of you who are not members, you can get a free membership by going to createmiraclesdaily.com, and you can check out some of these cool tools. This is in our high vibration toolkit, but you can just simply command the energy and say, I now command the frequencies of joy, love, peace, and ease to flow through me and to me at all times. And that really will shift your own energy and shift the currency of frequency going through you. Let's see, what else? Your soul and the divine is asking you to embody more of this beautiful divine energies. So just know that right now is that time when you will be feeling more high frequency energies, but sometimes because they're so high, it might throw you off kilter just a little bit between what you're experiencing in your life and what's running through you. You might need to just lay on the ground and integrate. You might just need to take a nap, or you might feel really energized. Either way, it's a great time to tune into the body and just ask more benefic, more loving, more gorgeous energies to run as and through you all the time. Because here's the thing, and I want to close with this today, is we often look to that outside world to give us peace, or that outside experience to give us joy, or that outside experience to show us abundance. And ultimately, those energies are going to run as and through you in a more positive way. So then your outside life can express that to you, as opposed to looking to something outside of you to give you that energy. What happens is when we look to something outside of us to give us that energy, then when it's gone, we don't have it. Versus, I command and embody the energy of joy to run to me and through me. So when you run the energy of joy, which by the way is one of the highest frequency energies that we have right now, it's a beautiful ascension energy. All ascended masters have this energy of joy, and you can ask it to run to and through you so that you then radiate it out before you ever walk into a room. People will start to feel joyful and they won't know why. And so you can just ask these energies to come as and through you. And then what's amazing is your outer world experiences will start to shift, and the people that you meet will be joyful, and the experience that you have will be joyful, instead of you not feeling joy inside yourself and trying to find it outside of you. It's one of the biggest shifts that when you can do that, almost everything changes. Okay, my gorgeous friends, that is your May energy update for this week. I hope this has been a really uplifting energy update for you. I hope that if you've been watching this here, I hope you'll come back and give us a comment, share this video with a friend, especially if they are feeling all of these energies and they want a little support. It always helps them and it helps us too. So thank you for being here. Thank you for your gorgeous, miraculous light on this planet. Your energy matters. How you are here on earth matters. Who you are being matters. So thank you for being here. Thank you for doing the work. And thank you for just being open and willing to do your best life, because that's what's on tap. Okay, my loves, I love you so, so much. Have the most magical, sparkly day, and I will see you in a couple of weeks for your second half of May energy update. Bye for now.